We're live. So we can go anytime. We're up. The link should be. All right.
I am ready, but I'm going to be back in a moment.
And we're
Sorry.
live. Welcome back to the CTA This YouTube channel. We are members of the Odd Lot. And tonight, instead of Dungeons and Dragons, we're continuing on with our Call of Cthulhu module as we prepare for at least maybe the month of October in honor of Halloween, playing some scarier stuff here. Tonight we are continuing part two of The Border. Uh, if we get through this tonight, we may be switching over to our regular characters for Call of Cthulhu and continuing on with that suspended campaign. I guess it's suspended. And at some point, I'm going to have all those old modules up on the channel for you to go back and check out if you want to, but right now I don't. However, I am not the keeper. That job belongs to Mr. John Bacon. John, take it away.
Yeah, let's see. Welcome to the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I am John, Keeper of Arcane Lore, or just the Keeper. For those of you that don't know the game, I play the role of the Game Master, or Referee, or Dungeon Master, as it's called in D&D. I am joined by my friends Chris, whose voice you just heard. He's playing the role of Silverio d'Agosta, a beat cop who has been called in to investigate a death. We also have Tim as Heinrich Engelman, the nosiest of neighbors in this boarding house, the backdrop for this tonight's game. Bob, who is sitting back down. Bob is playing Dean Menard, a bookstore owner who loaned some of his texts to the deceased individual. We also have Justin, or Rid, playing as Marcus Stenger,
Who the hell
a
is Justin?
business. Yeah, I know. A business associate who probably knows more about the people in this building than he'll ever lead on. Rick is playing as a boarding house's landlady, Rosa, who seems to have more than a passing interest in the decedent. And finally, there's Matt, or Trombley, playing Vladimir Skargela, a tough guy that lives in the largest room in the boarding house with the rest of his family. We rejoin this merry band of neighbors who find themselves in quite the predicament. One of their neighbors, a Mr. James Gardiner, was found dead in their apartment, and everyone else who lives in the boarding house seems to have a vested interest in investigating his death. So far, they have found that Mr. Gardiner's body is covered in unusual spiral-shaped scars that appear to have been self-inflicted, as well as a very strange knife wound starting at the crown of his head and spiraling down to his neck where there is a final deep cut. They have also found an obsidian knife under Mr. Gardner's body, as well as some cash and a keychain with 2 keys on it, and some matches. The body is laid out on a tarpaulin covering an ornate oriental rug. There's also a pair of candles and a piece of paper near Mr. Gardner's head. The investigators didn't find much of interest in the cabinets aside from a jar of pennies that almost hit Marcus in the head. Vlad Skargela searched the wardrobe to find a locked wooden box, as well as something else of interest to him. And then they started to look at an ornate bookcase where they found 2 of the bookstore owner's books amongst the other books that seemed to hold no interest. But before they were able to finish searching the bookcase, they also found a carved bookend of some sort of monstrous thing. And before taking a more definitive look at it, the bookstore owner found himself in a dreamlike state where he experienced a vision of some sort of gigantic creature deep under the ocean. And from his in-depth reading background, he was able to determine that he had seen the great old one himself, Cthulhu. We now return to our investigators. I will remind them that there are still plenty of things in Mr. Gardner's apartment that have not yet been studied, including the piece of paper by his head, the long table near the door, the rest of the bookcase, the nightstand, bed, and the small table that was obviously where Mr. Gardner ate, as well as the upholstered chair. Now,
Can we have
yes.
the tactical view?
Is the map back?
It should be there if you click on.
Yeah, hit tactical.
Yep.
I see it. Never mind.
All the way in there, right next to where it says investigator and NPC.
I will also give you this, which might be a little more detailed. It's just not as good quality. Let's see here. There's a new handout called Detailed Map. You can zoom in on it. You should be able to zoom in on it. It should replicate the playfield map, but you can actually see that there's a little bit more detail on the various surfaces. With all of that out of the way, what do you wish to do? Now, we haven't heard from Miss Rosa lately, so perhaps we can start with Miss Rosa Miss Rosa, the landlady.
How about Rosa Menez?
There you go. Perfect.
It's yeah, deep down. I mean, I guess I didn't know how. I wouldn't know necessarily how public her affection for the deceased was, but I would imagine right now just kind of in a bit of a funk, but at the same time, anger and wanting to find out who or what did this, and how did it happen under her roof, under my roof, if you will.
Sure. Is there anything you'd like to do?
I guess kind of go up to him and get one final good look. I know it, just still, yeah, granted, yeah. Gruesome as it is.
Yeah, I mean, you do find Heinrich and the police officer in the middle of going over things, and I imagine you've probably overheard one of them discussing that the wounds look self-inflicted. But anybody else, what would you like to do?
Well, first I'd like to distance myself from the penny bomb. And maybe go over here by the door. There's a little cabinet thingy by the chair there. And kind of look around on the table nonchalantly.
Yeah, and you should be able to, at this point, have control over a token now. So that must have been the update that allows that, yeah.
I do indeed exist.
And again, Call of Cthulhu isn't exactly tactical, so the map is really just to help, establish where you are in case something odd were to happen. But yeah, okay. So you are taking a look. Let's see here.
Any for your thoughts, Mrs. Pinkett?
Just trying to figure out what the hell happened here.
Okay, so
Not hidden.
Marcus, you find, you can, as you approach the table, you see that there's piles of organized correspondence, along with an attractive wooden holder that's holding paper, pens, and envelopes. A man's hat sits on the corner of the table.
I'd like to try to, as stealthily as possible, try and kind of rifle through some of the papers and see if any of them are of interest.
Yeah, I think everybody, probably except for Rosa, have their hands full from the position you're standing. Well, actually, Rosa is now looking over the body. So I would go ahead and give me a stealth check if you could.
Oh my god, I can't even try.
So I will, if I do want to double check one thing before I misspeak. So hold on.
Try to push your luck.
Yes, you can push. I will remind you, that's what I was going to say, is I will remind you that you have the opportunity to use luck to spend points to lower the die roll that you've made. In this case, you would have to spend an unusual amount. So what might behoove you is to...
If I spent all 35 of my luck, it still wouldn't be enough.
There you go. But you could also push your roll, and pushing your roll allows you to basically use the same skill, effectively describe it in a different way. Tell me kind of exactly what you're doing. And maybe if this fails, we can together come up with exactly what happens. If that is, you would like to push your luck.
Can you use luck if you push?
You cannot.
Screw it, I'll give it a shot. I'm here for bad choices. I mean, that's how one gets into the Call of Cthulhu anyway. So I imagine before I was kind of like looking around the table before, and I was kind of probably leaning around too much. So I kind of just take my fingers and briskly flip through the papers in the holder.
Okay, that sounds good. Go ahead and push that roll. I'll give you another stealth check.
Don't you screw me on this. You screwed me on this.
You, Rosa, if you could, I'm trying to think of the appropriate skill. It is, let's see. Give me a spot hidden check, if you would be so kind. Wow, hard success. Okay, so Marcus, you lean forward, and as you are, and I like to think that maybe as soon as you walk to the desk, maybe you just bumped into it a little bit, making some noise. And as you glance around, no one noticed you. There's already a lot of, whispering and talking and shuffling around that maybe they just figured you're just walking around. However, when you start to reach for the papers inside the holder, you knock it over, drawing the attention of Rosa, who can now see you looking at the stuff on the table. This may or may not be a bad thing, though, depending upon Rosa.
You find anything interesting over there?
No, not a damn thing. Was wondering if maybe there would be maybe like a last will and testament or some such. I suppose now that I mentioned it, it should be on the table. I doubt it'd be over there covered in blood.
I'm thinking maybe more of like a suicide. Hey, Mr. Engelman, what does that note there between the candles say?
All right, we'll cut back to Heinrich. It's Tim.
Can I jump in for a quick second?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
And-
Sure.
No.
Yeah, of course you
No,
can.
not at all. No, I just before we got further down, I just wanted to ask: is it likely that she would have known more or less his mental state at the time? Would she be convinced that he took his own life, or would she think that something foul is going on? I guess would she have known him well enough to kind of see where the likelihood of this? Was he on hard times or something like that? Granted, everybody kind of was why they're here, but especially so.
Yeah, that's a good question. Why don't you give me a psychology check?
Like college. Oh, this could be a tough one. Doofa.
Again, you can try pushing a roll, but this is more a whether or not you know. So, but you can try again if you'd like, if you want to push. And this would be a tough one to try and explain how you're pushing it, though, because you're kind of searching your own data banks, right?
Yeah.
But if you can give me a good reason to push it.
No, not really.
Yeah, you don't think there's any particular reason that you've ever felt like he would have killed himself. You've always thought he was kind of a weird guy, but that was actually part of his charm. He stood out amongst especially everybody else in the boarding house, but to most people you've ever met, he was unusual, seemed smart. Again, falling on hard times, didn't have a lot going for him. You weren't even sure if he was working.
Right.
But you don't have reason to believe that he would have committed suicide. It's
Do
a
we know what
surprise to you.
Do we know what his
Go
job
ahead.
was or is? Or anything like that? I don't remember if the information was revealed.
It was not, and no need for a check on this. Nobody knows what his job was or if he even had a job. I will say, without saying too much information, with the exception of possibly one other player, but I'll leave it up to that person to whether or not they know that. It'll be in your background. And that person will probably just know or not know, so I'll leave it up to them. The piece of paper, right? That was Heinrich. You were taking a look at that. Is that correct?
Yes.
The paper itself is bloodstained and contains handwriting in a foreign language. Let's see here. All right, you're definitely going to have to zoom in on this because it will be hard to see. I'm sharing this specifically with Tim. until he determines it's worth sharing.
Looking for where it might be coming from.
Do you not see it in the handout section, or did I share it with the wrong person? That would be kind of funny.
Not to me.
Let's try it again.
Ah, here we go.
Oh, you do have it? Okay.
Yeah.
While you're taking a quick look at that, I do want to flip real quick back to Marcus. Marcus, at the table, sure, you've made noise. Rosa's looked at you. It's up to you. Would you like to continue looking at the table? What was it you would like to do?
Oh yeah, I actually want to see what kind of stuff is over here.
Okay.
So would that be a spot hidden?
No. Well, I mean, you can do a spot hidden check for me. Go ahead.
Let's see if I find anything extra juicy somehow. My God,
Wow.
I'm not allowed to play this game.
Yeah, you
I
are.
rolled
That's
too good.
That's really. You need games where you roll high. However, after making quite the noise and fumbling around and bumping into the table and knocking things over, you do find amidst the correspondence, and this is not. This doesn't require like a success, honestly. You
Well, that's good.
find
I wouldn't get one.
you find a note. Written in your hand.
In my hand.
Yeah, so I'm going to send you a quick message. This part's always tricky with Discord because it's like, I gotta find the right friend in the list. So here we go. Okay, and while you're taking a look at that, we're going to go back to Heinrich. You're looking at the piece of paper.
All Greek to me.
In fact, you're pretty sure that's what it is.
No, yeah, well, so am I, but yes.
You can if you'd like. I don't know if you have Greek as a language listed on
No.
your skills. So it's up to you what to
Nope,
do
I'm
with
just
it.
I'm just German and English.
Also, you can give me an occult roll, even if it's a minuscule number.
Sure, I'll go for that first. See if I can. Wow, this is definitely a.
Oh
Yeah,
boy,
no.
everybody.
Well, it was also a target of 5, so.
Yeah, true. It's a pretty tough one. So you're looking at a piece of paper with a language that you're pretty sure is Greek.
Excuse me, Herr Officer, I believe this is, well, it's rather Greek to me, but, say, which one of you is the...
Mr. Menard, could you take a look at this for us?
Hey, Dean. yeah, Mr. Menard, can you look at this?
Sure.
Bean, you find yourself, kind of blinking heavily. You were just
Right.
in a weird daze. Do you happen to have Greek as a language?
You know what? I don't even know.
You do.
Oh, well, that's good. Where did I
And
see
if
that?
so,
It would probably. I'm not sure how the player sheets are like in the game, but when you look at your skills, it'll be under language first. It's marked as language, then Greek. Sometimes if I've had to add skills, because you can always add skills that are not on the list, they'll be all the way in the very bottom, I think, instead of being alphabetical. So sometimes you might have like a arts and crafts, carpet
Oh yeah, I see it. Language,
manufacturing
ancient Greek.
or something.
I'm skilled in cooking.
There you go. Go ahead and give me an ancient or a Greek check.
Someone called XIII.
And again, I'll remind
Mhm.
you
Yeah,
can spend
I-
luck, you can push.
Yeah, I'll try to push it. Only because I spent luck last time. Wow, it got worse. I'm shook.
Yeah, I think probably exactly that. As a matter of fact, as you're looking at it, you're literally physically shaking, and you've actually torn the paper. You haven't rendered it illegible.
What the? Mr. Bernard, why don't you just put down that you look a little. Is it the blood? Why don't you have a seat and try to recover yourself?
Yeah. Just yeah.
All
Look
right,
act like you've
before
seen the sight of blood.
Mr. Scargala, Trombley,
Yes.
we haven't heard from you yet. What would you like to be doing at this point? You have seen the bookstore owner get a little freaky, and his eyes glaze over for a couple seconds, and then grab the piece of paper and accidentally tear it. And everybody else seems to be looking at something else. What are you doing?
Honestly, with lots of people busy doing stuff, I think Vlad would. Why can't I grab my token? All right, never mind. All right, walk over here, and I would like to kind of search the bookcase, but also the end table here that's next to the bed. Just generally casing the joint and, in fact, looking for valuables to perhaps put in my pockets.
As you walk over there, and before you really start to look at anything, what you notice on the nightstand right next to the lamp appears to be an old book. And yeah, there's an old book standing or now on the nightstand.
Is there like a title on the book? Can I see it is there a dust jacket, or is it on the spine or whatever?
Yeah, you can see it on the spine. It says The Dreamer's Dictionary.
Was that one of the books that Menard was talking about?
That's the one I'm after.
Vlad's gonna pick it up, but he's gonna keep looking, like I said, for valuable stuff.
All right, the nightstand itself has a small drawer. And that's really about it. It's just a pretty simple nightstand. There's no obvious lock or anything on the drawer.
Vlad would open that drawer right up.
Yeah, this doesn't take any kind of special fancy technique to find anything, because you open the drawer and right in front of you is what looks like a slim journal. There's also a small corked bottle of liquid and a small vial containing an off-white powder.
Oh man, I don't know what any of that business is. Vlad would pick up the journal out of just like a sick curiosity and open it up, maybe like leaf through it some.
Okay. This is obviously a journal.
Mm-hmm.
And from what you can see, taking a cursory look, you can tell that it's a record of Mr. Gardner's dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll take you a couple minutes if you really want to study it, but as of right now, you can just cursory look. You can see that there's entries about descriptions of various dreams.
Okay.
And the beat cop, Officer DaGosta.
I
What are you doing with all this?
Well, I was trying to kind of coordinate that note, but apparently that's going nowhere. Is there anything special about the candles?
Yeah, the candles themselves are. Well, before I say the wrong thing, let me just make sure. Yeah, the candles themselves are black. And, you know, can you give me an occult roll as well?
No.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You don't really have any, you haven't encountered much strange stuff in your days. But I will say the candles are black, which strike you as slightly unusual. And you kind of feel like maybe the placement of the candles and the piece of paper, that there's something ritualistic about it.
Now, where would somebody pick up these weird black candles?
Is your store?
Yeah, but I've never seen black candles for sale. Regular. Five and dime.
We are going to go back briefly to Marcus at the long table. One of the things you do find also is, well, you know, let's do this. All right, we're going to do this, and then with this, and this. All right, so while you're perusing that, anybody else? Go ahead and call it out. What are you doing? What would you like to do?
Well, if I can, I'd want kind of over about here. I don't like to keep an eye on Vlad. Family's known.
As if sensing eyes upon him, Vlad turns around and goes, "Oh, excuse me, Mr. Bookstore. I think I found one of the books that you were looking for. With the dreams? Here you go."
Oh, oh, oh! Perfect, perfect, awesome, excellent.
Oh, and if you like reading about dreams so much, poor Mr. Dead Guy, here's a book where he wrote about his dreams in it.
Oh, well, yeah, we had a lot of conversations about history. I'll take a look at that because it might makes some sense into what he's doing. But that book, oh my gosh, oh, that's perfect. I was hoping that he didn't do anything to it.
What's so special about the book?
It's old. It's an older tome.
That's the Freud book, right?
No, it's the Dreamer's Dictionary. It's well over 100 years old. I deal with antique books as well as the new ones, but that one in particular, yeah, I didn't really want to let him borrow it, but I did. So that's back. That's three. That's 3 out of the 4. So it's just the. Oh yeah, he did borrow a Greek vocabulary book.
Well, if we find that, maybe we can translate that note. See if it's a suicide. Like, why would he write it? Why would he need a Greek vocabulary book if he could speak Greek? And why would you write a suicide note in Greek if you couldn't write Greek?
I mean, not to speak ill of the dead, but maybe he wasn't, okay upstairs.
Now that,
No.
that I agree with.
The other
Anything else
book
on
that you,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the other book you received, Dean, while you were talking and flipping through it, you can tell that that is also a journal of his.
Mhm.
If you want to take a look at it, it'll take you a couple minutes to really read a couple of entries, but that's up to you.
Well, first I'm going to look over the Dreamer's Dictionary and make sure nothing's weird with it. Like he didn't bookmark anything, or he didn't dog-ear anything, or rip anything out of it.
No, as a matter of fact, it looks like almost as good as when you lent it to him. You don't notice anything, nothing dog-eared, no notes. There's no pieces of paper falling out of it, no pages missing. Looks like he kept it in good shape.
That's good. Yeah, I'll look at his journal too.
All right, go ahead and give me either an occult or a Cthulhu Mythos roll. That would be your call on which.
Occult had a way better chance.
Okay, so with that success, it's going to take you just a couple minutes, and so in that time, we'll come back to you. Okay?
Yep.
Officer DaGosta and Vlad, at this point, what are you trying to do now?
I'm going to examine the, I think, probably still open nightstand.
Yeah, inside the drawer, you two find a small corked bottle of liquid and a small vial containing an off-white powder, neither of which are labeled.
Interesting. Um, I'm going to take the open the vial of powder,
Mm-hmm.
sniff it, listen carefully, see if it's got any scent.
Let me see. Give me this will be your choice. If you want to give me a first aid, medicine, a science/pharmacy roll, or a knowledge roll. But if you may choose to do a knowledge roll, you will need a hard success.
Okay. What were my choices?
So the choices were first aid, medicine, science, specifically pharmacy, or no. No is one of your characteristics. It comes from, sorry, it doesn't spell it out for you. Let's see. An education roll.
Huh. good? Is a high number good? That was 75 in education.
Yeah.
That's like my best bet.
Yeah, you have to roll below that number, I believe.
But you do need a hard success.
Versus, let's see, my medicine. Oh, first aid is 30%. I'll try that.
First aid. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've already described what you're doing. You're taking off the top,
Yeah.
taking a sniff. I don't see a result.
I clicked it on my character sheet. First, oh no! Oh, I see. I know it says to use it. I don't know how to do it.
Look on the right-hand side of the.
That bottom right.
Oh.
No, just of whatever you're doing. Click on where like the 30, 50, 75, whatever that is. Click on the
Yeah.
right-hand side.
When I pop my character sheet up, I can see my first aid. But when I look on the bottom left there, I
Under
don't see
skills.
first aid.
You can filter the skills. You scroll down. Under, you'll have like strength, dexterity, power, all that. If you scroll down from that,
Yeah, I know.
you
I
have
know.
the rest of your skill.
It's not showing up there for some reason.
After
I have a
firearm,
medicine score, but not first aid.
it should be right after firearms.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So once
Can I
again,
push
you
that?
can push or you can spend luck. Yeah. What are you doing to push that? You've already said you're trying to sniff it, and you don't notice any particular odor.
I'm gonna taste it.
Okay. Go ahead and push it.
Should I just roll that again? Or?
Yep.
I can't spend luck on a push. All right.
You cannot spend luck on a push. You taste it. For a moment, it does taste recognizable, but you're not sure what because you ended up tasting just a little too much. Go ahead and, if you don't mind, give me a power check. That's one of your characteristics.
Success.
Okay. You tasted a little bit too much. You're feeling extremely woozy. You don't feel right. You're not entirely sure what it is, but you need to sit down. You actually feel like the world is starting to speed up a little bit. Like you tasted way more than you probably should have. You can kind of get this sense that your blood is starting to pump and you're almost feels like you're starting to feel warmer than you should, and even though you don't really feel any sweat, you feel like you're starting to sweat.
I'm gonna sound like that. Oh.
So while Officer DeGosta recovers from that, what else is anybody doing?
Is anybody?
Well, I'm good.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. I've already done a bunch of stuff.
Is anybody directly looking at his body right now?
The closest people would probably be yourself and Rosa.
Yeah, so
I was gonna say, I just kind of, yes, no, just kind of like staring, not specifically at anything, but just still kind of like stunned.
Oh, okay.
But still looking in that direction.
In that case, Heinrich is just gonna come over and try and comfort Rosa, and I guess try to just basically butter up to her that, so sorry that this is such a tragedy to happen, and
I was just gonna make him some Portuguese rolls.
Oh,
Damn it. I got a phone call. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I'll take some Portuguese rolls. I don't even know what that is.
I would also take some Portuguese roll. I don't know either.
All right. Anybody else then? Dean, you were
Yeah.
still busy. Officer DaCosta, you are seated, feeling like you could probably run a mile in under 30 seconds. Anybody else?
I would like to try and pocket that note in my handwriting.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a trying
Sleight
to
of
get
hand?
right sleight of hand check. Nobody. So Heinrich is busy with Rosa. Rosa said she was staring at the body. Dean is looking through the journal. We'll get back to the tough guy in just a sec, and the cop is around the corner anyway. So I would do a regular check.
Woohoo! First decent roll, and it was a good thing like that.
Yeah, definitely no one's noticed. You have them all now in your pocket. Everything that I described to you is now in your possession.
Ooh.
Let's go back to Vlad.
Since Officer DaCosta looks like he's otherwise preoccupied, Vlad is just going to casually stroll to the other side of the room. You know, not quite like whistling casual, but, you know, just trying to play it cool. And he's going to walk all the way over here to the desk, and he's just kind of going to, you know, look around a little bit, see what he might see.
The desk itself, or the table itself, is obviously used as the place where he ate. You can see 2 chairs
Mm-hmm.
and a plate and some utensils. Looks like he kept things fairly clean. It doesn't look like he was in the middle of eating.
Okay.
But that is all you see on or around that table.
And then, is that shelving of some kind here at the top of the map? What is that?
Yeah, that's the one that Marcus took a look at and almost got beamed in the head with a jar of pennies.
Well, despite having witnessed somebody else almost get beamed in the head by a jar of pennies, I'm going to look through that too.
Okay, go ahead and give me a spot hidden check.
Sure thing. Spot hidden. Hey, hard success.
Yeah, you find some jars of food like dried pasta. You can find things like beans that uncooked still need to be reconstituted or soaked. Beans of different types and like a sack of potatoes, things of that nature. Just some food, nothing of real interest.
Okay, fair enough.
We'll give Officer DaCosta another second, but in that moment, Heinrich.
Yeah.
Rosa looks like Rosa, I guess. Oh, Rick, you're back. I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were back.
Yep. It's all good.
How do you react to Heinrich's actions there? He was trying to soothe you. That sounded weird.
I'm not dismissive, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, if it's all the same to you, I'd just rather kind of be alone right now.
Oh, of course, of course. I meant nothing by it as just, you know.
No, I know. It just, I appreciate it, but yeah.
Officer DaCosta, you are pretty certain through experience, don't take this the wrong way, that you have just ingested more cocaine than you probably should have.
Well, guys, I'm really happy to be here. Let's take a quick look around the place again, and oh, come on, let's go. Come on, let's get going here. I'm gonna slide off the bed, kind of like, oof, kind of sit next to it, and then kind of, I wonder what's under the bed. Kind of like,
Um,
if I can, if I'm
yeah.
covered enough.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you can actually tell as soon as you stand up, even though you left a depression in the mattress on the edge there, you can tell that someone has been sleeping on top of the covers. I mean, you assume Mr. Gardner, makes sense. Not even bothering to sleep under the covers by the depression.
On top of the covers.
And under the bed are a pair of slippers, a pair of brown shoes, and they're placed neatly under the bed. But that is, unfortunately, all there is under there.
Can I do one more other thing? Other thing?
Sure.
Can I kind of push out the mattress and from the box springs if there's anything between the two?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and, in this case, give me a spot hidden check.
Success.
Yeah, you lift it up and you don't find anything unusual. You just see that underneath the mattress itself are the like straps that go across the bed frame to keep the mattress in place. What would now probably be on fancier furniture have wood or springs or metal. These are like canvas straps, I guess.
The deceased was obviously a federal lawbreaker. There are no tags on these mattresses.
Makes me want to know exactly when that law came into being. That's
only
something
for,
that'll.
It's only for selling mattresses. Once you own it, you can do it.
Yeah.
Mattress police.
Hey, you try to explain that to the. I was just gonna say you try to explain that to the mattress, please.
Chris Police.
Dean, I think enough time has passed. This is obviously a record of Gardner's dreams that he was experiencing while you can tell that he's been experimenting with his sleep. He references something called the entity from beyond. And you can tell that he was obsessed with returning to a place called the Dreamlands. But as you continue to read further in his journal, you get a sense that he's getting more and more frustrated, that he could no longer seem to be able to travel to the Dreamlands while asleep. Entry after entry seems to be filled with frustration, or some entries just read "no dreams again." Toward the end of the journal, you see numerous descriptions of vivid dreams where he talks about a meeting with what he wrote as a powerful being who promised him a path into the land of dream if certain rituals were performed. He describes how his dreams make a text that he calls the tome more understandable. So while dreaming, he can seem to understand the tome better. And you got a success before, so a pretty good success. You can also determine that he was in contact with some sort of dream entity or person who seemed to change their appearance in various dreams, but every single time it seemed to still be the same entity no matter what appearance it took. Whoever or whatever that person was obviously had a lasting influence on Gardner because it seemed to have driven him to delve into the dark arts. And I need you I need you to roll a 1d4, please. That's the white button on the bottom middle where you could choose a die.
Oh.
2.
You take 2 points of sanity loss. However, your occult score now goes up 2 percentage points.
Oops, I didn't mean to roll that.
Yeah, I figured. That's all right. Okay, anybody else? Vlad, Heinrich, Marcus, Rosa.
I'm gonna kind of maybe start looking under furniture or something, and maybe other people might do that too. Using that to listen to.
I will allow you to. Hold on, let me make sure I've got this part right. One sec here. Okay, go ahead and do, this is called an idea check. An idea check is where the player themselves are stuck, but the character should probably have an inkling on what to do next based on things that may have happened or situationally, right? So this is a roll against your intelligence, not your education, to see if you can basically remember something. It's almost like a history check in D&D. Yeah, you, from where you were over before by the body, you overheard Dean and Vlad taking a look at the bookcase. But you're pretty sure that beyond the 2 books that the bookstore owner grabbed off the bookshelf, that nothing else was investigated.
Oh, so the bookcase is right here.
The big bookcase, yeah, just north of you. Yep.
Yeah, I'll take a look in there. Oh, actually, you know what? I did stuff. If anybody else want to do that, because I don't want to overstep.
Yeah, we'll allow that success to count for everybody. We'll consider that like a party check.
Hey,
So,
did anybody find anything else in the bookcase other than the 2 books already?
Well, I can take another look. This journal has, I mean, I know he had problems with sleeping and dreams, and it outlines that he was trying to get to somewhere through his dreams. And also, to kind of go back, I heard you talking about there's candles over there. There are a number of occult stores around. I mean, even Salem's nearby. You go there to get black candles. They're pretty common. But the journal, it's hard to describe, but I think he was being visited by something in his dreams, and this something was trying to lead him down a path, and it may be why he ended up on the floor. So I start to try to show him the journal and point out the things.
I would say Officer DeGusta is confused. I don't know that he would have much idea what a cult is or the idea of being visited. I think it's probably
Right.
a little incidental. Also, yeah, 5. So I'd be like, oh, I think I've heard some of that stuff. Let me take a look. Now like you say, he's been visiting in his dreams. Like somebody's coming in at night and like talking to him and like whispering things in his ear, making him go crazy, or what?
Well, no, more. So, let's say you have a dream, and it's about your childhood, and you are, I don't know, in the front lawn, and your grandfather comes to see you, and let's say you remember that it was very similar to something that actually happened, but then your grandfather says something to you that would make more sense to you now as an adult. So he's being visited by somebody, but it might not be somebody that he knew, and they're telling him things in the dreams. It's very much like that.
Mostly I dream about Marlene Dietrich and Trina Garbo. Hey, whatever, grandpa's.
Well, right. So yeah, let's say you had a dream where you went to the movies and you're sitting there in the theater, and you're watching the screen, and then the character on the screen turns and faces you and starts talking directly to you. And that's what I kind of think is happening to him in his dreams. But it's not necessarily Greta Garbo. It's probably something else.
All right.
Pretty
Something
good.
bad?
Oh,
Well,
probably.
I mean, I guess if it told him to do that.
Well, that's what I think. This thing in his dreams pushed him towards the darkness, dark arts, and that. I'm curious about these candles, though.
And while these two are talking, I'll ask the other four, while that conversation just happened, what are you doing?
Maybe I'll weasel in and see if I can check out the bookshelf.
Okay, while he's doing that, Vlad and Heinrich and Rosa?
As soon as he walks away from where he was, Vlad would walk over there and continue his general perusal
Petty theft.
of everything he may or may not be able to get his hands on. Yeah.
Give me an appraisal check.
Uh-huh. Appraisal. Okay.
Oh yeah, let's go. Art success.
You
That's good.
are. Let's see here. Hold on one sec. One of the things that catches your eye is you walk over to the table and you look at the table, and it looks like there's some letters that have been scattered around the table, but what's left really doesn't seem interesting. But the one thing that really catches your eye more than once as you walk around the room is the oriental rug that the body and the tarpaulin are on, as well as the knife that's next to the body.
Oh man.
You are pretty sure that the blade itself has a value of at least $60 to the right collector. But even more, the thing that kind of goes cha-ching cartoonishly in your brain is the oriental carpet.
Man.
You know,
Fucking hassle to get at.
you know for a fact that's worth at the very least $200 and is easily the most valuable thing in this room.
Okay.
If you can,
Yup.
give me an intelligence check as well. This is a knowledge check, or an idea check.
And intelligence is. Oh, okay. I see it. It's just one of my base stats.
Yeah.
Right, roll that. Success.
And you've got this thing that keeps bugging you in your brain that you remembered when you were looking at the wardrobe. There was a small box in there that you left behind.
Oh, yeah. Well, Vlad's gonna try and, like, stew on the problem of the rug. It's like, oh, there's too many people around for me to just remove it. But then it's gonna, like, tickle the back of his brain. Oh, yeah, that little box. And he's just gonna, again, just like real flying casual, he's gonna walk over. And see if he can't recover said wooden box.
All right, let's cut back to before we get too far there.
Yep.
Marcus, why don't you go ahead and give me an intelligence check, an intelligence roll, please.
Yes. I'm gonna burn
again.
2 luck.
Yep. Okay. There you go. Make sure you take note of that and
Fail on an 80. There we go.
while you're looking at the bookcase, you can determine that the space between the drawer that's on the bottom of the bookcase below the shelves and the bottom shelf, the space between those two is too big. Even when you remove the bottom drawer, as you open it up, you don't notice anything unusual, but it really strikes you as being unusual that the space between the two is too big. If you'd like to do more, I would require a spot hidden or even a woodworking, like an arts and crafts woodworking check.
Spot hidden would be the one that I'd have. I have arts and craft business. Spot hidden, go.
And again, if you can describe a different method of searching, you could argue to push it. But remember, if you fail,
You know,
something bad might happen. Or you can tell someone else.
probably like actually get in on it, like start moving my hands around on stuff.
Okay?
I noticed that.
Yeah, this is happening just as you're finishing up your conversation with Dean. So again, all happening at the same time. So you and Dean are talking as Dean is finishing explaining the movie theater analogy. Marcus comes over, starts looking at it, and Marcus, you find that there's hidden in the scroll work, in the ornate part of the front of the bookcase that is not easily noticed. Sort of carved into the ornate etchwork there, or scroll work, is a button.
Hey, there seems to be a strange button here. I mean, I'll accidentally press it.
Heinrich and Rosa, you hear... Actually, you know what? No, you don't need to roll. You hear a clicking sound and a slight creak coming from the back of the bookcase.
Okay. Was ist das? Try and look.
Yeah, there's an obvious small door that seems to be the way it, on the back of the cabinet, there's sort of these lines where pieces of wood were put together to construct the back of the bookcase. One of them is actually a door, and inside it you see a couple of books and things. Suppose it depends if you're looking at them and who. Heinrich, Rosa?
Yeah.
We
Heinrich,
could probably both take a look if we
reach
both
right
notice
in.
it.
It's a mimic. No, I'm sorry. No, inside this secret compartment,
Ah!
if you will, you do find a book, and the title of the book is Primer in Greek Vocabulary. You also find 2 accounting ledgers. So it looks like almost like 2, not quite binders, but the thing where you put the metal through and you push the metal down and fold it over, filled with a bunch of accounting details. There's also another obsidian knife, which looks identical to the one that was underneath Mr. Gardner's body. And something about this sized, wrapped in silk cloth. Look up
We have
back to
found
guys.
quite a bit over here. Bookman, is there something in a cloth? Might be a book. There's more books. Hey, there's Greek primer here. Maybe we can
Oh,
translate what he wrote down here. I doubt it's recipe, but you never know.
that's actually my 4th missing book.
Vlad, while they're talking about that, you find in that wardrobe again that
Uh-huh.
12 inches by 8 inches by 6 inch wooden box that has an obvious lock, small padlock, hanging from the front of it.
Yeah, Vlad's gonna try and pocket that.
This one would be an opposed roll, just because you are literally in front of 3 other people. However, Dean is busy. The closest one would probably be Marcus, both Severio and Marcus. Give me both a spot hidden, while Vlad, you give me a how do I keep forgetting what that skill is? Wow, a sleight of hand check.
Sleight of
Plus-
hand.
Yes.
Okay. Sleight of hand. Sleight of hand.
Can I push that?
My virtual roller. Oh man, that screwed me hard. Can I push this roll?
I was gonna push mine.
You guys can both push.
Alright.
When they called out, I started to walk over, so maybe I got closer to look.
Okay, that makes sense. Vlad, what are you doing slightly different?
I'm trying to like. Maybe I'm trying like have a conversation or like point something out in a distracting way. Oh, Mr. Bookshop, aren't you so happy that you found your last book? Booking book. Just trying to la 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 la. Don't pay attention to me. Pay attention to someone else.
All right, go ahead and both of you give me a push roll.
Come on, be better. Oh no, it's just as fucking bad. It's really
and
bad.
Yeah, and actually a fumble.
What you got there, Mr. Alphabet?
Yeah, so not only did you notice him trying to pocket it, he literally fumbles it, drops it, and there's a slight crack in the wood on the outside of the box.
I pick it up.
Okay.
Oh, well,
I suppose you were just giving this to me, weren't you?
yes, to help with your investigation, because you got it. Yeah, there you are, officer.
Like, it was pretty obvious to you, officer,
Yeah.
that he was trying to pocket it. It's probably because of its unusual size, because it's not tiny. You know, it is a foot on one side.
I feel like he tried to shove it in his pocket. His pocket was just like, no, dude, no. This is the
Right.
Great Depression. Your pockets aren't that big. You don't own anything.
Pockets? Who's got pockets these days?
I'm gonna take the
Who
box.
can afford pockets in this economy? Sorry.
I'll take the box and walk around towards the other side of the bookcase with us. Assume most of us are going to, giving Vlad the hairy eyeball.
And Chris,
You better
Yeah.
hope this. You better hope this. Wait, I keep wanting to do Irish instead. You better hope that this turns out to be a suicide, Vlad, because in terms of suspects, you top of the list.
I didn't
And-
even know Mr. Dead Guy.
Chris, go ahead and give me another idea check, please.
I was just gonna walk around. I was gonna go to the keychain.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And
Yep. You're
I remember
right.
there's a small key on there. That's kind of glass.
Okay. You are by the body again, and let's go back to Heinrich and Rosa. I wish I could see what I keep doing. It's so frustrating. I'll have to explain later. It's so annoying.
I also like the idea that the guy's like 15, 20 feet tall.
Yeah, that's a matter of scale in this. Don't. You guys
I
are very,
had the same
very
thought in
little.
that.
You guys
I
are
was
very.
like, well, if each of these characters fell over and they took roughly 3 squares like this guy.
Big, tall, and willowy.
So what you didn't know is that Mr. Gardner is actually a giant, first of his kind. It's rather a strange anomaly that no one seems to be concerned
It starts with the giants, and then it's the mimics.
with. And now we're playing D&D.
Yeah. Though I feel like a mimic could fit into a cosmic horror pretty easily.
Yeah, probably. Okay, Rosa and Heinrich. So again, you've got this primer and Greek vocabulary, 2 accounting ledgers, an obsidian knife, and something odd wrapped in a silk cloth. With this in mind, what would you like to do?
I mean, since we're pretty much going through everything, I'd be curious as to see what's underneath the silk cloth.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a book written in Greek, but there's the title of it is written in Greek, but it's also written in English underneath, and it says the Book of Dream Memories. Marcus, where are you at this point? Did you move over?
Yes, I have.
Okay. You recognize those 2 accounting ledgers.
Oh, ledgers. I'm accountant myself. I took a look at it and see what we've got here. I'm gonna grab either one of them. Take a look.
Yeah, you really recognize it. As a matter of fact, you can see your name all over it.
Oh, this is mine. Then I'm gonna grab the other one. Look at it too.
The same. And remember, a failure isn't necessarily a success. Failure is not necessarily something awful, but go ahead and give me an accounting roll.
Hey, I'm actually good at that.
He is good at business.
I'm going to go ahead and say this part out loud because I just don't feel like typing it.
Yep.
You feel much better about having these in your hand because you're pretty sure that if anybody else were to read these, that they would be able to implicate you in the shady practices and some sort of dubious relationship with Mr. Gardner.
You mean implicate Mr. Gardner in stealing my property and then doing something untoward with it?
That's perfect. Dean, why don't you give me another language Greek roll, if you don't mind?
Whoa.
And even though you're not, what I'm having you roll for is that piece of paper again.
Oh, gotcha.
So if you'd like, you can try pushing it. If you can try to describe a better way that you may be trying to translate it. Maybe you're just having a hard time with the blood spatter on it.
Right.
The book that you found.
Yeah, can I look through the Greek language book?
Sure. Looks like Heinrich's pointing it out.
Right.
The Greek language
Greek
book.
vocabulary, yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely one of your missing books. So yeah, if you want to give me another check, this is going to be considered a push roll, but this is going to be with a bonus. Or advantage, however you want to think of it.
Holy.
I got it. With both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will share this with you. And it should be under handouts now. I don't know if this is immediate or if it takes a second.
Yeah, I got it. It was immediate.
Okay.
Ugh. As a player, I recognize that name.
All right, let me check one real quick thing here. Of course, I'm having a hard time finding it at the moment. Okay, Chris, you are by the body again, and you remembered the key ring. Yep.
So I'm going to pick up the key ring and try one of the keys in.
Yeah, because one of them was obviously the door key. The other one is slightly smaller. Fits in this padlock perfectly. Open it right up. In it, you see, in cash, $128.
Son
You
of a
also-
bitch.
You. Anybody who sees you knows that $128 would be enough to cover the $15 a month room and half board for the room and board for 8 months. So yeah, you find $128. You find a sewing kit, some personal grooming items. Yeah.
Well, there
that's what
must
you
be
find.
at least $20 in there.
You could, if you want, give me a.
No, I'm not
gonna check. Okay. All right.
Is there a sewing kit and nothing
Some
really
personal grooming items, right, and some money. Like you might like personal grooming item. You might see like a nice razor blade handle, maybe a nice comb. Nothing so nice to be of significant value, Vlad, but
I'm going to relock it, put the keys in my pocket, and hold on to the box. This is evidence.
All $20 are evidence. Okay. In short, what I would like to know at this point is where everybody is and doing at this exact moment. Heinrich, will start with you.
Honestly, I think he's going to be looking inside the hidden compartment and see if there's anything he missed.
Nope, with everything I just mentioned, you have in your hands right now the obsidian knife.
Yeah.
The primer in Greek vocabulary is now back in the dean's hands. The accounting ledgers are in Marcus's hands. You are holding the knife, and Rosa's holding the other book called the Book of Dream Memories.
Okay.
Rosa? Oh, yeah. Is there anything in particular doing with the knife or anything else?
Taking a look at it, but also just kind of holding on to it.
Okay, Rosa?
But yeah.
What about yourself? Okay.
I'm holding out to the book that I had. I actually kind of want to thumb through it just to see what he was writing, what was going on in his mind.
It is literally all Greek to you. This does not look like...
This is all Greek.
Yeah, this one does not look like it's in his handwriting at all.
Well, maybe then I'll hand it off to Mr. Bernard there. See if he can make any more sense of it.
Okay. Vlad, Marcus, and Officer DeGassa, you were just opening the box. So Vlad and Marcus?
So, Vlad has been kind of thinking to himself, quick question, what floor is this apartment on?
This is on the second floor.
And is there like a fire escape on the outside of this building?
Actually, outside of this one, likely not, at least not on the second floor.
Unfortunate.
Marcus,
Vlad
how
is
about you?
mostly standing around thinking about how large and heavy rugs are.
Give me another appraisal check real quick.
Sure.
And Dean, if you can give me a language ancient Greek check, please.
I have a success.
Yeah, you're pretty sure, as weird looking as that statue is on the bookcase, that might fetch a pretty penny to someone.
How big is that statue?
Like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Bookend size.
All right, Dean, you can push or spend luck.
Well, I'll try to push it.
It's funny, everyone's afraid to spend luck.
Yeah, well, I spent it last time, and
Okay.
I kind of like it being high.
Like Officer DeGusta. Who, by the way, Chris, you're definitely down from it. It was more of the initial sensation that lasted only maybe 2 or 3 minutes. We've got a 6.
Is there liquor in here? Wait, it's prohibitionary. Never mind. Take the edge off.
Interesting.
Of course there's liquor in here. It's prohibitionary.
Okay. would we get? We got a regular success? Yes.
Regular success, yeah.
You know from skimming over this that this is the barely coherent account of an Irish monk from the 9th century, describing the dreams he experienced after reading some ancient scrolls discovered while cleaning out the monastery's library. This 1658 edition of the book is a later reproduction of the original. It's bound in cracked, worn leather, frail with age, and there's a bookmark that's been placed on the book noting a particular page of interest. The details are confusing because they're trying to transcribe dreams, so a lot of the details just don't even make sense. But the writer claims to be making regular visits in his dreams to a place that he calls the Dream Land. It also suggests that the writer is having dreams in which they were reading a dream book. Sections of the Book of Dream Memories appear to be an attempt to write down what was seen in this dream book. And right where the bookmark is placed, there seems to be instructions on how to enter this dream realm. The writing that is on the scrap of paper that you accidentally tore is the same writing that is on the page of this book where the bookmark was, or is. Near to this page are diagrams showing spiral shapes drawn on a human body that look exactly like the ones on Gardner's corpse. Let's see here. Okay, what I need you to do is roll for me a 1d. Nope, never mind. Forget I said anything. You are sure that in order to get more out of this book, that it's actually going to take some time to study, probably a number of weeks actually, to really read it, study it, go through everything. But just from your cursory and regular success, that is all you can derive from the book. As you are holding the book, do you relay any of this to everybody?
Well, I will, yeah, kind of point out that, hey, the note is the same as this page in this book, and I tell them about how it is, yeah, pretty much everything that you said, as best I can relate, that it's a way to get to this dream realm. Etc.
Heinrich, you are taking a look at the knife. Rosa, you've handed the book over to Dean, who's done a cursory glance at it, and so you're paying attention to him. Marcus, you're thumbing through the ledgers, probably happy to have them in your possession. Officer DeGosta, you are closing the box back up and locking it back into place. And Vlad, from where you are seriously considering whether or not you can somehow fit the oriental rug through the window, as well as maybe even possibly trying to figure out how to get the ornate bookcase out the door. When you hear sort of a wet dragging sound on the floor, right?
Those are words I didn't want to hear put together in that order.
Right in the middle of where everybody is standing, the mutilated body of Mr. Gardner's shifts its limbs and then suddenly lurches to a standing position. Bear with me for 1 second. This is the part I need to figure out how to do again.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Is that a few more?
All right, let's see here. You look on in absolute terror as the flesh around Mr. Gardner's head begins to peel, spiraling downward like some horrific party trick with an apple. The blood-slicked skull turns to look in your direction with a pure malevolence in its lidless eyes. And let me share this photo.
Oh no. Nope. Nope. No, thank you.
I need
How many
everybody.
times must we tell you no?
I need everybody to make for me a sanity check, please. Nice. Not nice. And again, you cannot
Oh,
push
mine
these or
sucked.
spend.
Oh, and I never adjusted it down one last session. That's my fault.
Well, that's okay.
Sandy's on skills. Where is that? Is that on my character?
Skills at the top.
At the
All the way
very,
top.
very top. Luck and sanity
Oh, right.
are big.
Oh, hard success.
Wow. Only one failure, I believe. Right? Vlad?
Well, screw the rest of you guys.
I need everyone to, except for Vlad, take 1 point of sanity loss.
Oops.
That's all right. Unless you want to take that roll.
Yep.
And Vlad, roll 1d6 for me, please.
Sure. Three.
You take 3 points of sanity loss.
Okay.
So you've already taken some, right?
I had taken one last session.
Okay.
And I realized why I wasn't able to adjust my sanity. For whatever reason, the little picture of my guy where it's hit points on one side and sanity on the other is in an exact line with my skills, spells, actions, etc. And I can't
Okay.
click on it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all
It's
right.
just like a weird, the overlay is just lining up funky for me.
I'm sorry. How do I
Well,
change the number?
Is that something someone else can help?
Okay, so your little portrait there in the dead center in the middle.
Yep.
Over on the right, click the little sanity side wing, then press minus, however many, and then the little check mark down there at the bottom.
Let's see the side.
You see your circle in
That
the center? No. Circle in the center where your picture is,
Yeah.
above your name.
The where it says
Say
sanity to the
sanity
right.
to the
Just
right of
click
it?
that.
Just click the word sanity.
Oh.
Just
Yeah, that's all right.
Took me a while to figure it out.
Yeah, one of the things I was just trying to figure out or assess is if anybody has lost 1/5 of your starting sanity, and so far nobody has, which is good. When you lose 1/5 of your starting sanity in a, not just a session, but sort of like in a game day, you could suffer some bad sanity or insanity stuff. But everyone's doing okay. Yeah, insane to the brain. All right. This creature that was once James Gardiner turns and looks at Rosa. Now, the way this is going to work is we are in a combat situation, and as a reminder, the way initiative works in Call of Cthulhu is it is automatically determined by dexterity. Whoever has the highest dexterity always goes first. Anybody on their turn can choose to basically delay their action. Unlike D&D, you don't have to say what it's triggered by. You can just place yourself into a different order for that round. So if you want to say, like say right now on the list, I don't know if you can see the encounter list on the right side. It says turn order, Heinrich goes first with a dexterity of 80, I believe it is. And while we're here, is that list not apparent for everybody?
I see it.
No, I see it. It's right next to investigators, where NPCs was.
Encounter. My glasses on.
All right, let me do this other thing too. Let's see. All right, we're gonna actually start that over and do this. Oh, that didn't change anything. Well, crud. Hold on 1 sec. I just messed something up. Okay. So I don't know if you heard a change up in the music or sound at all, but all right, here we are. With the first person to go is that's an interesting way of putting it. The first person to take their action would be Heinrich. What would you like to do, Heinrich? Yes.
I'd like to actually. I'm holding a knife, but I
You are holding.
don't have a knife that I can. Like, it's not giving me an option for that.
That's okay. You would use your brawling skill
Okay.
to do a combat roll, and I can tell you the damage on it would be 1d6 plus your damage bonus if you have one.
Okay.
I'm going to double check to make sure I'm not talking out of my ass. Nope, that is correct. So, I will also remind everybody that even though Call of Cthulhu is not a combat-oriented game, combat sometimes happens. In this case, we are in round 1 of this particular combat. Just calling it combat, though, does not necessarily mean you need to actually fight. You are average everyday people. You are not, except for maybe Officer DeGassa, are not trained to really fight, and maybe even Vlad are not necessarily trained to fight. So, with that said, Heinrich, you are armed with an obsidian knife.
Yes. Well, I figure Heinrich realizes he's on the wrong side of the monster versus the door.
This is true.
So he's going to start by attempting to do something with the knife, and then go from there. Probably involving running away, but yeah.
Okay.
He's probably also going to yell out, "Get out, Mrs. Menendez!" and try to attack.
Go ahead and give me a brawling check, please. That would be fighting, brawl, something like that.
Yay!
So also you cannot push combat
Right.
rolls. You can use luck to hit, but you cannot use luck to affect actual damage rolls. I think.
That-
You know?
That would be like all of my luck.
Yeah. Let me just make sure that that's... Yes, you can use luck to modify any non-botched combat rolls. So, if you fumble, you cannot use luck to get out of a fumble.
So yeah,
All right.
take the
So,
swing.
yeah, tell me
and-
what that looks like. Yep.
He basically has he looks, sees this horror in front of him, takes the blade and just kind of like swings forward with it. He's not a fighter. But yeah, swings forward with it, and can he also try to run? Because that would be his, like, stab and try to get out of the way.
Yeah, you absolutely can. So you can, while taking an action like that, you can move your movement in yards. However, in this case, we're trying to do theater of the mind. So if you tell me exactly where you're trying to go, we don't necessarily have to measure this out. So no square counting. Don't bother.
I don't know
I'm
what
gonna-
his movement is anyways, but
That's okay.
just trying to like circle his way around, trying to get, eventually he's going to want to get out the door, but I don't know if he can do, how far he can go, but he's just trying to run towards
Yeah.
the door by going as far away from this crazy monster thing as possible.
Sure, I would say navigating around Officer DaCosta, the thing, the crap all over the floor, and then the big upholstered chair right in the way. That's probably about as far as you can get, is exactly where you are. All right.
Okay.
So next up, and this is... Let's see here. Because next up is Vlad, but I'm trying to figure out how... I don't know if you guys can see the list, but it's trying to make it so that the next person goes. Nope. Nope, that's not it either.
I can view me, but I can't.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, there's got to be a way to, like, basically say next, right? I know I can drag you here, but that doesn't help.
Right.
Yeah, so bear with me while I try to figure this out, but while I do, we can go ahead and have Vlad. What are you trying to do? You are now in
Yeah.
the southern part of the room there.
Vlad is gonna move up because he still had full line of sight and saw all this crazy business. I'm gonna move over, and Vlad's gonna pull out his revolver, cock back the hammer on it, and say, "Marcus, Mrs. Landlady, stand aside, get out of the way." And I'm going to fire at this freakish aberration.
Okay, so you are... So you moved up a little bit. Your dexterity is 55. About how close are you, do you think?
I I don't
How
know.
close? How close do you want to move to him?
Maybe like 10, 15 feet. I don't want to get point blank.
Okay, that's all I need to know. So just outside of point blank range for you would be anything beyond 11 feet.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and give me a firearms check.
Sure thing.
A regular firearms check.
Yep. No. It is. I have a failure.
All right, go ahead and tell me exactly how that looks.
You know what? It's probably just nervous. The adrenaline's going through him. Maybe his hand shakes a little bit, and he kind of pulls back too hard and shoots up into the ceiling instead of into his target.
All right, sounds good. Looks like there's a new hole in the ceiling. Rosa.
Just trying to send the price of rents down in this neighborhood.
Rosa, this thing has turned and is literally staring at you, and you can see him reach out with these oddly strange, disgusting, scarified arms towards you. What would you like to do? You are right next to this thing. Like, it is in your face.
Part of me thinks that it's possibly still him, but at the same time, I'm just like so horrified at what I'm seeing. And just thinking of my kid and whatnot as I just kind of slowly back away, kind of between Marcus and Vladimir.
Yeah, that sounds good. Officer DaCosta. What are we doing?
I'm like kind of probably fumble the box and like pull out my revolver and sort of maybe I'll take a step back in horror from it and just take a shot.
All right, now for you, let's see. Yeah, point blank range would be at 10 feet. So I'm assuming, are you trying to get back a little bit beyond point blank or at point blank?
Beyond point blank, and I might be pulling myself to the side a little bit. I don't know. I don't know how brave a guy this is. Maybe he's trying to draw it away from the door so other people can get out.
Yeah, I will say, even though almost everybody made their sanity check except for one of you, you are unnerved by seeing this thing. This is not human, or at least is not anymore. One thing I did want to say is for anybody with a firearm, if your firearm happens to be readied, so you're anticipating combat, you've got the gun out and you're walking around with it in your hands, ready to pull it up, that immediately puts you up plus 50 dexterity in the encounter turn order. So it's not like in your case, you have a dexterity of 50. That would make your dexterity essentially 100 when you consider what order in initiative you get, okay? So since you are drawing your weapon at this point, same with Vlad when you were trying to shoot, neither of you had these ready at the time, which would make sense. But after this round, you would be considered to have the gun readied. So bear that in mind. I'll readjust the encounter list when that happens. At this point, go ahead and give me your firearms check and see if you can't hit this thing.
Boom! Extreme success.
So, very good. An extreme success means that you can do something called... So, this is a good time to explain all this. If you are attacking with a blunt weapon, so a bat, an improvised weapon like a pan or something like that, if you get an extreme success, you do maximum damage. If you have something that is sharp, you will do what's called impaling damage. So you do This almost like odd lot D&D critical hit rolls. You do
Wouldn't
maximum
Vlad do the
damage.
impaler down?
Right. Took me a sec there. You would do the full maximum amount of damage and then get to roll the die roll for that weapon and add that as well. So this also applies to firearms. I will say go ahead and give me, before you roll damage, roll a 1d20, please. Okay. So as you make your way back to that side of the room and maybe get over by where that chair is, you get off a shot and you hit its left arm. Go ahead and roll damage for me. So that's going to be maximum damage. What's the damage on the gun? It should say. Okay.
32 special. This is 100. I don't think that's the damage.
No, I think that's probably strangely the number of rounds. I don't think that's accurate, but yeah.
It does not. Does it say on the sheet?
I have a 32 revolver, and it does a D8 of damage.
Okay, so just roll D8.
So,
Yeah, I see that. It is. Yep.
Yeah, if you go to the equipment tab, you can click on the gun itself. It'll tell you. My Derringer does a D6.
That is weird.
You probably don't have any ammo. You do?
Yeah.
Oh, if you go to character sheet.
I was gonna say this is a good time to figure this stuff out. So.
Yeah, then I got a Ghostbusters. I'll try to click on it.
Oh really?
I'll edit. If I go
No. He's saying no, not under there.
Okay, I had to go switch to the edit tab on.
Yeah.
It's weird. It still doesn't give me a roll on this. Weird. Yeah, oh, that's I don't know. Maybe we should do a share screen at some point.
Over where it has your skills,
On the left
you
corner?
have the bar that says, left corner. It says skills, spells, actions, equipment.
Equipment. Okay.
Click that equipment and then click your gun. Scroll down just a pinch. Should give. It's nothing. It doesn't show anything to roll there, but it should tell you what the damage type is. D8 is it?
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Oh, on the bottom left, you have it where it says equipment. You go to your knife. You got to click that little circle.
Yep, I have done that. It says equipped.
And if you click on the knife or on your gun, where it says it in the middle, it should bring up a pop-up in the center that says like gun whatever. It'll have damage.
It says 32 special, parentheses 100. Quantity 1, cost 585, weight nothing, properties 1920s, ammo, no description available. That's all I see.
Sounds like it's just ammo.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe
that's
that's. Oh, hold on. I'm an idiot. That's the ammo, isn't it?
Yeah. So I got a 125 rimfire shot.
Yeah, I don't know if that's accurate.
And then I got 25 Derringer 1 barrel.
Yeah.
cannot figure out how to get the next player to go.
I don't know. Can I just? Oh, mine says 1d8. Okay, I see it now.
Yeah.
So what do I do?
Did you?
For the extreme?
Oh, so your extreme, right? The extreme check is your maximum damage of D8 plus the roll that you just rolled. So that's 15.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah.
15 points of damage is a lot. So if you take a look at what kind of hit points you guys have, take that into account with how deadly encounters can be in Call of Cthulhu. One shot can quite literally kill you.
Yeah.
First
That-
level.
Almost killed me twice.
That said, when you hit his left arm, you see these very strange magical blue lines sort of shoot out and follow the circles, spiral patterns of his scars on his left arm. And you see nothing, no damage seems to appear. It almost is like the bullet hits him in the arm. And with this weird flash of blue circles, the bullet disappears into its arm.
Oh shit.
Sorry, what?
Marcus?
My bullets, they do nothing.
Well, everybody, I think it's time we skedaddle, and I'm not gonna go behind Rosa, but I'm gonna like move back, get closer to the door. But
And even
still
though the
kinda-
art on the door only shows it partially open, at this point the door's open, so.
getting a little distance here, but yeah. Being that I have nothing else at my disposal, I'm gonna go ahead and try and shoot.
Yeah. So yours is a Derringer. With the attack, in order to reload it, it won't take a full action, but it could replace like your ability to move. So on the next round, if you don't move, you can reload your Derringer and take a shot. Okay, if that
Alright.
makes sense.
Yep.
That is in the same round. All right. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
Go. 7.
As you move back behind Rosa, you take a shot and you hit him square right in the gut, right in his belly. And same thing, from the points right exactly where you're sure you made purchase, the spiral patterns of his scars on its stomach kind of flash blue, and the bullet itself seems to be absorbed right into its skin. Dean.
Well, it's been fun, but I have my books and I'm leaving. So,
Okay.
out the door I go.
All right, you hightail it out the door. You're probably successfully at least part of the way into that hallway, in whatever direction. I would say the stairs are. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to do that. Are probably to the south. And let's see, that leaves us with.
So, I am carrying the Dreamer's Dictionary, the Myths and Legends of Ancient Greece and Rome, the Interpretation of Dreams, the Sigmund Freud book, the Primary Greek Vocabulary, his journal, and the Greek Book of Dream Memories.
Yes, you have Every
All 5 of
book?
those.
So you should have, right, in your possession is every single book, right? Including the one that Rosa found and handed to you, correct?
Yeah, that's the Book of Dream Memories that's written in Greek.
Yep. Okay. This thing Rosa and Vlad, each of you give me a strength check.
By the way, just real quick, if you go into encounter there, John, and you go down, there should be a up and down arrow right at the bottom as you scroll past the names.
I didn't see that. Thank you. Yeah, perfect. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. There we go. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Reddit.
Yeah, I was going to say I didn't have a chance to really search for it yet. Vlad, did you do a strength check?
Oh, sorry, no. Hang on. Strength check. There we go.
All right. Rosa, this thing looks right at you, almost with a look of recognition for a moment. But after that moment has passed, he turns to take a look at the fleeing form of Dean Menard out the bookstore, I almost said, out the door. It makes a rush, knocks you to the ground. And you got a hard success. Okay, I need to do... So this is interesting. Can you see my die rolls or no?
Nope.
We haven't yet.
No.
Oh, okay. I was curious about that. These are both hard successes. This thing tied Vlad. So it basically just tried to bum rush past both of you and is now, I wouldn't say locked up, but it has been stopped by Vlad's inability to move.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. And it stops. And you hear... Everybody in the room can hear this. It's the best way to describe it. Let's see. Give me a moment here. So if you remember, there's a spiral wound that was on his face that just unpeeled to open up. At the bottom of it, where the largest cut was, right across his throat, this monster puts its head back, which causes the wound to open up. And you can hear whistling from its throat orifice is this strange... It sounds almost like something between a scream and a whistle emanating from its neck. I need everybody to make a power check.
Power, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Oh, looks like we're doing really not good.
I'm going to burn 4 luck to pass.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna burn 6.
Is this pushable?
Yes, this is. Oh no. Yes, no, you can push this roll. What you are doing essentially is you can hear, not only hear the sound, but you feel it inside your head. This mixture of screaming and whistling.
I'm going to.
Yeah, this is when you want to decide, is it worth the push? Maybe it is. Don't know.
Oops. Didn't mean to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to try to push it. I'm going to say, I'm going to I'll fire another shot to distract myself from the sound. Or just kind
Okay.
of like flinch.
Go ahead and give me another roll.
Woo! I got 8
Okay.
on the last one. I'm not trying to
Everybody who failed needs to roll a 1d3. Now, does this allow a 1d3? If not, just roll a 1d4 and ignore a 1 and re-roll the 1.
You can roll 1d6.
Yeah, you can do that. Yep. Let's say divide by 2.
Also,
Either
it
way,
is
it's fine.
10:35.
Yeah, I was going to mention that after this die roll. All right, so Dean, that's a 1 for you. Vlad, that's essentially a 2 for you. Who else failed? I think that's everybody failed except for Severio and Heinrich, right?
Yeah, I used luck to pass.
Same.
Yes, it's powered.
Okay. So the 2 fails are just Vlad and Dean. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right, let me just jot a note down here. Dean is 1.
Note to
That's
self:
true.
kill all players.
So Vlad and Dean, both of you can feel and hear and sense this weird whistling, screaming sound, not just with your ears, but inside your brain, to the point where both of you collapse to the ground and are covering your ears, whether or not you can try to or not. And yeah, nope, that's, you feel dazed, you feel out of sorts, you feel dizzy, you feel like almost like you've had way too much to drink. And that will be the end of this creature's round. And as Chris said, it is 10:36. Who knows how much longer this will take? We could basically pick it up at the beginning of next week's game and finish up this and then move on to the next thing if you'd like. But I'll leave that up to everybody that needs to wake up early tomorrow. Or we can try to finish, but that's up to you guys.
Rather not finished.
Yeah, I would prefer to not
Yeah.
try and rush things tonight
Right.
to finish up
Okay.
and give ourselves the time to, really explore things as they need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. On that note, we will start at the top of the next round with Heinrich, and we'll see how these investigators fare against this once dead border. Chris, I'll let you take over.
Thanks for checking us out tonight on the CTA channel. We are associated with the Online, of course. We'll be back next week with more Call of Cthulhu, finishing up this adventure and going into the regular mini campaign. This Sunday, join us on the Odd Lot YouTube channel for Kingdom of Steam. And Monday should be more of Pathfinder 2E, Fortune's Pools, the sort of pirate campaign we have going there. Please like and subscribe if you're viewing this for the first time. Give it a shot. Give us a shot. Leave a comment. We always entertain comments. And most importantly, hit the Discord in the description box below. That'll link you to when we go live on either of the two channels. With that said, that's all for this evening. So we'll catch everybody down the road.